When we sit down to edit, finding the perfect song can feel impossible. Most of us aren't musicians. We're filmmakers, sorting through the cliche songs and the typical sound effects. But wedding films need more than just noise. They need emotion. And that's where tonal sound effects come in, because they are the glue that blends multiple songs together and carries the emotion forward. And today I'm showing you how I use them to shape the mood and tone of a film from one moment to the next, and why tonal sound effects are the easiest way to make your wedding film soundtrack feel custom made for your couple. Now, why does tonal sound effects matter? You know, when we're in the trenches of editing, for a lot of us, music can be one of the biggest bottlenecks of the entire process. We start editing with a certain song, and then all of a sudden it transitions into a completely different vibe that just doesn't fit what you're going for. And most songs are made for musicians, not the editors. So finding the perfect song can be pretty challenging because they don't always rise, fall, and resolve in the way that we need them to for our story. But tonal sound effects, they give you the wheel to steer your film into the direction that you want it to go, so that you can have the control over the mood and tone of your film. And here's exactly how I use tonal sound effects in my wedding editing process. I use tonal sound effects as the introduction of my story. I like to think of the start of any wedding film as the opening breath of a movie. It's warm, it's inviting, it's emotional. It's like you're dimming the lights in a movie theater. It kind of signals to the audience that something pretty awesome is about to happen. And for this film, I started off with a pad from the Film Score Pack Volume 1. Pads are beautiful textures that give you a soft, sustained musical tone that creates the space for the emotion to breathe. It helps you ease your couple into the film, softens the transition into your main song, and this is a simple but effective way to start any wedding film. And then if you pair the pad with a one-liner from the couple's vows, a musical hit, and transition into your licensed song, you're gonna have a simple but heartfelt introduction for the start of your film.
I know that everything I will become is because you were there to love me along the way, and I promise all of myself to you.
The next way that I use tonal sound effects is by creating a bridge between one song to the next. When I first started editing wedding films, my cuts between songs was just horrendous. Nothing but hard cuts. The songs were not key matched, so crossfading into two completely different keys was just not the way. It's honestly the quickest way to kill the emotional buzz of your film. But with tonal sound effects, if you use the same key that your licensed song is in, it then becomes the emotional glue that connects two songs together in a seamless and natural way. And it doesn't kill the emotional buzz, it actually carries it forward. So for this film, you can see I created bridges with tonal sound effects for every song change, every shift in emotion, and it ultimately makes the whole soundtrack feel custom made for their wedding. And the truth is, you don't need all these different layers in order to pull this effect off. Yes, layers can add more impact and build emotion and tension and suspense, but you really can keep it absolutely simple, which is the beauty of tonal sound effects, because it gives you that creative autonomy inside the edit. And as you can see here, all I used was a pad in between two songs, and then paired that with a melodic transition. And the last way that I use tonal sound effects is to enhance the licensed song. Because when it comes to my music choices, I tend to follow a simple framework: slow, medium, and fast. Most licensed songs don't always follow that same framework. So I need tonal sound effects to help me break it apart and create my own soundtrack. So if you want to add warmth, atmosphere, lift, and resolve to your licensed tracks, here's what you want to use: a pad or drone to accompany the same key as your licensed song, a subtle chord progression with a cello, piano, or violin, some vocal improvs in the same key for even more emotion, and just 3 simple tonal sound effects can help you elevate and enhance what's already been created. Because the truth is, with sound effects in general, with tonal sound effects especially, you can do a whole lot with very little. You can make it as simple or as complex as you want it. There's really endless possibilities with these packs. And I don't even know what I would do without them now that I've used them for pretty much every single film since these things were originally released. They have just been game-changing for me in my process. They really do help me transform my edits and make them feel more alive, make them feel more my own creation instead of sticking to a very rigid formula from other creatives. So if you want to learn more about tonal sound effects, I will have a link down in the description below. Head over to Multiply Sound's YouTube channel where Boomer just dives deeper into his process, his heart, and his just creative knowledge when it comes to all things tonal sounds. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this video helpful and valuable in some way. If you did, it would mean so much if you consider liking and subscribing. Drop a comment below. Don't forget to head over to the How to Film Weddings Facebook group to get plugged in, join the conversation, and until next time, keep creating and telling beautiful stories. Peace.
These holes in one step after the other, so I'll take another and another and another and another.